All right, so let's start this broadcast with the situation that is presently unfolding in Hong Kong, where hospitals have been overwhelmed because of the number of COVID-19 infections. And according to reports that have come in, the city of Hong Kong is now reporting more than 4,000 cases pretty much on a day-to-day basis. The city at this point of time has failed to maintain its zero COVID policy, and shockingly, hundreds of patients were seen lying in beds outside of hospitals awaiting treatment. Our next report gets you the details.
Dozens of COVID-19 patients in Hong Kong were being treated in beds outside medical centres on Wednesday, with several hospitals operating at over 100% capacity, as health authorities reported a record 4,285 confirmed new infections, more than 40 times the level at the start of February. Medical experts have warned cases could surge up to 28,000 daily by the end of March, amid worries about high levels of vaccine hesitancy among the elderly. Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam has also said authorities were unable to keep pace with their testing and isolation mandate. China has promised to help the city boost its testing, treatment and quarantine capacity and secure resources from rapid antigen kits and protective gear to fresh vegetables. Hong Kong has adopted the same dynamic zero coronavirus strategy employed by mainland China to suppress all outbreaks. China's President Xi Jinping has told Hong Kong's leaders that their overriding mission is to stabilise and control a worsening COVID-19 outbreak. Authorities confirmed 9 people have died from the virus in the past 24 hours, including a 3-year-old girl. Despite the surge, Hong Kong has seen far fewer cases than other similar-sized major cities, including just over 200 deaths. For Hong Kong's residents, the surge in cases comes amid rising fatigue with the restrictions aimed at protecting them from the pandemic. Borders have been effectively sealed for around 2 years and turned the global travel and business hub into one of the world's most isolated major cities.
All right, now to give us more insights in terms of what the situation is like in Hong Kong, we're joined in by our correspondent Richard Kimber, who's joining us live from Hong Kong. Now, good afternoon to you, Richard. This of course, is an extremely difficult situation that the city of Hong Kong is dealing with. We're given to understand that over 4,000 people have tested positive, and what is shocking is that Hong Kong, which happens to be a financial hub, there are many patients who are lying in front of hospitals who are awaiting that they could get admitted into the hospital to get treatment. What is the situation like out there?
That's right. The implications of this outbreak are continuing to grow day by day. Just opposite where I'm standing now are the headquarters of HSBC, of course, one of the world's biggest banks. It's just announced that it's closing a variety of its branches in the city because of outbreaks within those branches, and it's having deep cleaning operations taking place there. This is impacting the financial world here, as well as the hospital authority, of course, which, as you say, is struggling with the high level of new patients being recorded. Not only was there a record number of cases reported yesterday, but the hospital authority said it's also trying to confirm some 7,000 new positive cases in addition to those 4,000 yesterday, which have been recorded on home testing kits by members of the public who have yet to go to hospital. Those are all going to be verified, double-checked, and that could mean that the number today will be another new record high for daily case numbers.
And also now we're given to understand that President Xi Jinping has said that all necessary measures will be taken by the administration in a bid to try and bring the infections under control. How is the administration in Hong Kong responding to this health crisis?
Well, the government is playing this as a show of support from the central government towards Hong Kong's efforts, but other political analysts are saying this is really a very clear sign of pressure from Beijing on the Hong Kong government to make sure that this outbreak does not spread any further, and of course specifically does not spread across the border into China. There's certainly a sense that Beijing is very closely watching the situation in Hong Kong. The government here has ruled out the types of measures that have been used on the Chinese mainland, such as a full citywide lockdown. It says that's not necessary, and it's also impractical in a city that's this densely populated. But there are expectations that the government will have to ramp up its already very strict social gathering and social distancing measures in order to try and get this under control. Some leading health experts here, including one of the leading advisors to the government, a professor of microbiology at the University of Hong Kong, has said that, in his opinion, a city lockdown is really the only solution. He says if the government does not impose a lockdown of this kind, he projects that in the coming weeks the daily case numbers will rise to some 28,000. That's 7 times higher than we're currently seeing, and he's expecting that the death toll could reach around 1,000 if there is no widespread lockdown imposed on the city, just to try and stamp out the transmission chains that keep popping up in different areas of Hong Kong.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Richard Kimber, for joining us and getting us all those updates there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.